Hi, today we have a lovely visitor.
GrannyDeepSea in the house.
Yes, GrannyDeepSea is going to tell us about something we need to know now because time is running up. Is that correct?
Yes, time's running out for our planet. If you look around, not only signs of the times that you would hear in the Bible, but it's just obvious. Things aren't good. You can see that it's a big mess out there. We need to clean this place up, especially if we're trying to invite Jesus back.
Yes, and for this conversation, or the first beginning of the conversation, is we're going to try to not keep religion out of it, but we want to talk about something specifically medically talked about, and it's called your R complex.
The R complex is at the base of the brain. It stands for reptilian complex, and all mammals have this part of their brain. In the reptile, it's the only portion of the brain that they have, and to describe what this is in charge of, basically fight, flight, freeze, food, and sex. That's about all that comprises the life of a reptile. And for our purposes, I think we should call this our gecko. It makes it easy for us to talk about. Is that good?
And if I am correct, it is called the gecko because R stands for reptilian, which in this case we're calling a reptilian like the gecko.
Like, exactly. So if you kind of think in terms of the base of your brain has as much brain as a gecko, that's what we're talking about. And when your stress level rises to a certain amount in your bloodstream and there's enough cortisol in your blood for your brain to react and say, oh no, this is too much stress, something is wrong, then the keys to your whole body are handed over to this portion of your brain because there's so much stress hormone inside of you. Now, when this gecko portion of your brain gets activated, the very first thing it does is check and see if there's immediate danger. So for instance, is there a tiger chasing us? And no, there's not a tiger chasing us. We're stressed out from work or something else. So as soon as he figures out that there's not immediate danger, he is so stupid and limited that he defaults to, oh, winter must be coming. So he checks to see what kind of body he's in. And because we all have different bodies and we handle our stresses differently, and this gecko portion of the brain is in all mammals and everything that's higher than a reptile. So the things that animals have to do to make it through the winter is what he defaults to. He immediately does a system check to see what kind of animal he's in. In my case, he found that I had empty fat cells because I had done a lot of losing and gaining of weight because I had had hospital stays. At that point, he determined, oh, I must be inside a seasonal weight gainer, such as a bear or a whale. At that point, he required that I gain all the fat back and fill every fat cell. He was doing this for my own good. Now, I knew I wanted to be thin, but he doesn't care about that. He only cares about survival. He cares about your safety. And he's stupid. So he makes you do stupid things in order for you to be safe and okay through this winter that isn't even happening.
Now, right now that you just said a bear, there's a story that you were telling us earlier that you were thinking of what would see a donut, because you saw a donut once and you just wanted to tear it up and you wanted to eat it because you were so hungry, or at least that's what you thought you were. And you said that, what animal were you thinking of?
The donut story, I'll make it short.
All right.
So basically the donut story, I had lost and gained weight so many times that I weighed close to 400 pounds by the end. I had been on so many diets that I lost over 100 pounds and gained it all back plus a little more every time. Now that's what was interesting. I had done a lot of studying because all these diets, it makes you study, it makes you try and figure this out. I know I'm not stupid, I know I want to be thin, so why the heck am I fat? And why do you always gain it all back plus a little more? So I'm looking, I had lost 100 pounds, I think I lost 150 pounds that time. Then I'm looking at this donut. I had started to gain the weight back, I was going, what the heck is going on? It's happening again. I had gained about 50 pounds back after, and then I'm looking at this donut on the counter, and I felt like I was gonna die if I didn't eat that donut. And then somehow I was reasoning in my head, well, wait a minute, I don't even like donuts. They make me feel heavy afterwards. Now I know that's from the gluten. But anyway, I don't like donuts. So how come I wanted to eat that donut so bad? The more I refused to eat the donut, the more I wanted to eat the donut. And so, you know what I did? I actually prayed, because, I've started finding that you could actually ask a question and get an answer. So I look up at the angels and I say, first of all, why do you always gain it all back plus a little more? And second of all, why would I feel like I'm going to die for this donut here? Well, all at once, to the answer to that question, I get this question in my head. Is there anything on this planet that would die if it didn't eat that donut? And as I'm sitting there wondering, what does that mean? All at once I see this picture in my head of a bear standing in the forest next to a tree, and he looks down at a scale, and then he looks back up at me. And I said, oh, wait, a bear. So the bear, he does have to get fat again every single year, and then he loses it all, and then he has to, now wait, if he has to fill every fat cell in order to make it through the winter, and he doesn't have a scale in the forest, then how is he going to know that he's filled every fat cell? And it just came right into my head. It like exploded. He fills every fat cell, makes one new one, then he gets to go to sleep for 3 months. So at that point I said, wait, so my brain is actually forcing me to refill every fat cell, make a new one, and then I'm fat and happy. Then I don't care anymore. I don't think about food anymore. If I just stay just that way, I don't gain anymore. So that is when my body actually says, okay, you're done. Now you could go hibernate. So there's this kind of depression that they would say is surrounds refilling every fat cell and gaining one new one. But I say that's the hibernation mode. And I've realized later that it's that gecko. He's in charge of the peptide cabinet in your brain. He tells you you're going to die. If you don't comply by eating the donut, he gives you more you're going to die, until pretty soon you just think you're going to die, and now you just eating that you're crying while you eat the donut, and you don't even know why you're eating it. Now, the worst part, next time you try and say no to the donut or anything else he's trying to get you to eat, he doesn't just start with a little bit. He goes to that full dose that it took to make you eat the donut the last time. So there's the gecko with the fat person. So and now, so my next question obviously is, now wait a minute. There's some stressed out people out there that are not fat. Are their brains making them do things they don't want to do to make it through a fake winter? And sure enough, it looks like it's true.